Good evening. I'm Rick Katz, Executive Director of the Miami Jazz Cooperative. Last Monday, our jazz community lost a legend who had been living among us in Miami for nearly 60 years, Ira Sullivan. The Miami Jazz Cooperative was honored to celebrate Ira's last 3 birthdays, the most recent of which was his 89th, celebrated virtually from Ira's home last May 1st. We had a wonderful response to the broadcast from Ira's friends and fans, and most importantly, from Ira and his family. We can think of no better way to honor Ira's memory than to rebroadcast his last birthday party. So sit back and enjoy the next couple of hours. Ira Sullivan, as we will always remember him.
I'd like to get a hand for Mr. Chuck Bergeron for putting this all together and allowing me a rare treat to play with the big band on my birthday.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Katz, Executive Director of the Miami Jazz Cooperative. We just watched the celebration of Ira Sullivan's 79th birthday 10 years ago today with the South Florida Jazz Orchestra at Arturo Sandoval's on Miami Beach. Today, each of us in our own homes, we are celebrating Ira's 89th birthday. Ira's been a fixture, the North Star of the South Florida jazz community for 6 decades, and we are fortunate to claim him as ours. Ira's a world-class multi-instrumentalist who plays trumpet, flute, flugelhorn, tenor, alto, and soprano saxes. And as I learned a few months ago at his last live appearance for the Miami Jazz Cooperative, he also sings and plays piano. Before moving to Miami, we all know that Ira was a vital part of the Chicago 1950s jazz scene, played with the likes of Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers, Charlie Bird Parker, Lester Young, just to name a few. And he earned this reputation around the world as a fearsome bebop soloist. When Ira moved to South Florida, to Miami in the early 1960s, he played with South Florida greats such as Duffy Jackson, Jaco Pastorius, Pat Metheny, and Carmen Lundy. In 1980, Ira moved to New York for a while and formed a quintet with legendary trumpeter Red Rodney. And today, still based in Miami, Ira tours and is a clinician in jazz workshops at university and high school programs. Throughout today's birthday celebration, you'll see a crawl on the bottom of the screen about the MJC virtual tip jar. Our friend Michael Reagan has generously offered to match the first $200 in the tip jar, and all of the proceeds of the tip jar during today's show will be Ira's birthday present from the jazz community. So take out your phone and text the word tip jar to 44321 and help us make this a great birthday for Ira. And now I'm excited and I'm proud to introduce the Miami Jazz Cooperative's online hosts, Wendy Peterson and Nikki Orta, who will guide us through this great event.
Hey, Rick.
Fingers crossed with that one. This has been a huge undertaking, but we're so excited to be able to do this. Especially, this is actually Ira's 89th birthday today. So we're really excited to be here and we're celebrating, and we reached out to a lot of people, and we want to let you know that there's hundreds of people watching now, so that's really exciting. And thank you all for making Ira's Day great. We're seeing your comments on Facebook, and we're seeing on YouTube. And if you would take a second to share this live broadcast to all your friends on Facebook, because that way we can get the word out to even more and more people. You can like us, like our page, the Miami Jazz Cooperative page, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is all so new, but we're super excited to celebrate. We want to let you know that on Ira's 80th birthday in 1981, the MJC presented Ira with our first ever Lifetime Achievement Award. And more recently, we have been honored to celebrate Ira's 87th birthday and also his 88th birthday. So we're trying to make this a yearly extravaganza because, we love Ira so much, and we're so grateful for all his music and the gifts that he's given us over the years. Today, we're going to welcome Ira from his home in Miami because he is being safe and smart, as we all are. So we welcome Ira from his home in Miami to celebrate his 89th birthday with us online. Hello, Ira Sullivan. Happy birthday.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Just wonderful. Ready to. I've been warming up.
All right. So how about we start off? Let's start off this with some music. Go ahead. Give it to us. Thank you so very, very, very much. How you doing, Ira? How are you doing through all of this?
I had to get my daughter to move the mic there. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. And this
If we
is
could get the
wonderful.
mic closer to you, that would be great.
Yes.
'Cause- oh, it's,
Just a minute, we're getting the mic closer.
yeah,
Now, can you hear me?
we can hear you. It's a little bit soft. It would be nice to be a little louder, but
Well,
There you go.
that's,
Beautiful.
Yes, that's it. Okay. And
Okay.
you want me to sing Frim Fram Sauce now?
Do we want you to sing Frim Fram Sauce?
Yeah, I told Rick Katz I was going to do it because I've done it at the club, you know.
Is that right?
Open stage, yeah. Yeah, in different places, like when we work at a restaurant, I always sing Frim Fram Sauce with the Austin Faye and Shafafa on the
did
side.
did anybody ever figure out what that was?
No, but I've had people, Ira, I went to Publix, I went to Winn-Dixie, I can't find any Shafafa or Austin Faye.
On the side or on top or anywhere?
Right. So anyway, I also wanted the folks to know that I'm not from Daytona, but why I'm wearing this hat is in honor of, this is my son Brevard here, Brev Sullivan, and he taught his wife Crystal how to play bass about 19 years ago,
19 years.
and they
She taught herself.
they broadcast.
We've been watching some of their broadcasts.
Yeah, see some of their broadcasts together.
Yeah.
So, why I'm wearing this Daytona cap is to honor the passing of a wonderful little rabbit they had named Daytona.
Oh.
Named Daytona, and so
Gosh.
I'm wearing it in her honor today.
Okay.
That's sweet.
I
Oh, you
figured-
softy.
Who knew you were such a softie, Ira? Well, we're so grateful that you're sharing your birthday with us today, and there's almost 200 people watching from all over the world, and we've put up some of the comments about people wishing you happy birthday. But I just think it's so great, for you to know how much we appreciate, and everybody appreciates
Yeah.
all the music over all of the years, that you've gifted to us. It's funny, we were looking at your career, and it was clear to us that one of the first people that we should bring on the show is Dr. Pete Brewer. Because I don't know if you remember, but Pete Brewer wrote his doctoral dissertation about you. So we're going to cut, and we're going to say, welcome to Pete Brewer. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, wonderful.
I just want to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy birthday and many happy returns. I'm very indebted to you and will be eternally grateful for the time that you gave to me back when I was in school, right? And I wrote my doctoral essay about you. So, I thought I could mark this auspicious occasion by reading some passages from my doctoral essay.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, without further ado,
Okay.
let's start at chapter 3, shall we?
Yeah.
Wendy and Nikki, let me know when it's time. I'm getting a little echo in my headphones, so I just need to take these off while I read, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, chapter 3, Portrait of Sal La Rosa, 1976.
Pete,
This is an excerpt from the essay entitled The Creative Process of Ira Sullivan.
Pete,
Okay.
that's really
So,
interesting, but I'm not sure.
background
we have
evidence.
I don't
time.
think he can hear us now. He took his
Portrait of
headphones
Sal La
off.
Rosa
I don't think we have
is
time
a
to hear
Dolph
all of this,
Castellano
Pete.
composition from the
Okay,
album
well-
entitled simply
We'll
Ira
we're
Sullivan.
gonna check back with
produced
Pete.
by
but-
We'll get back
Yeah,
to him.
we'll check back with him.
Okay, then.
He's
Wow.
got his.
We'll get back to him a little later.
We're gonna check in with Pete in just a few minutes. But we wanted to. So in 1956, Billy Taylor released an album introducing Ira Sullivan. How did that happen?
Well, Billy Taylor knew me, through the music and everything, and he wanted to record me. And originally, I was going to have Max Roach and Kenny Drew on piano, Yeah, there it is. And I think Wilbur Ware on bass, another Chicago bass player, Wilbur Ware. And I was going to have Max or Philly Joe Jones, which I later recorded with Red Rodney. And instead, Billy Taylor wanted to do it, and he got the rhythm section. And so that was one of my first night CDs. I forget what year it was. I don't know if it's on there.
I mean, it says 56. So
Oh, 56, but in
Yeah.
1955, I recorded in Chicago with Red Rodney,
Okay.
who I later traveled with,
right.
And so we had Roy Haynes on drums, Vic Sproles on bass, and Norman Simmons on piano.
Wow.
So that was nice. And then in 1957, I was in New York, and Red and I did another album. We had Horace Silver on piano, Oscar Pettiford on bass, Philly Joe Jones on the first side on
Wow.
drums. And then Philly couldn't make it. It was Saturday and Sunday. Philly had a gig on Sunday, so who did he send in to play with us? Elvin Jones. And that was probably one of Elvin Jones' first record dates.
That's
you
a
know.
history lesson right there.
It really is. It
Wow.
really is. And through the years, I found out that I've played with every major jazz musician in the United States.
Wow.
Every one, and some in Europe also.
Well, Nikki and I are happy that we're some of the less major ones to have gotten a chance to share the stage with you.
Yes, we've been honored.
Yeah, well, and I played with your precious brother Mike and you
That's
Yeah.
right.
together. Yeah.
Yep.
And we teach every Brian Murphy, my pianist, and I teach jazz. We have the honors jazz class at the University of Miami, and I remember one year you were there
Yes.
in the bass department,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Hey.
it was good to see you in that capacity.
And then Wendy, you were with us at the open stage when we sang "Amazing Grace."
That's right. That's
right.
right.
Oh,
Very recently, yeah.
It's a joy. It's a joy to always watch you and also to share the stage with you. And I was wondering, would you mind if we played a clip from this album,
Sure.
a track from the Billy Taylor introduces Ira Sullivan.
Oh, I haven't heard it for years. Yes.
See? Let's hear something.
This is They Can't Take That Away From Me.
Hopefully not.
Thank
Wow, so good, so good. What does that feel like to hear that? Like that you recorded that so long ago and it still sounds fantastic. You know, it's just incredible.
Oh, well, thank you so much. But can you tell me who the drummer and bass player? I know.
Oh, you know what? We'd have to. I can't
Oh.
right now. You know
Oh,
what?
oh.
We'll figure it out though.
Oh,
Because
no, I got it at home.
They were good.
right, they were
Thank
really.
you.
We actually have the back of the cover somewhere, but we can't. We can't.
No,
access
that's
it.
all. No, that's all right. I was just curious. I
It's-
had
it's-
forgotten.
does
I
it
knew it
bring-
was Billy Taylor on piano.
Does it bring back memories? Like what kind of feelings? I can imagine.
Well, no, I have to tell you a story. My wife is writing my memoirs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right.
We've been together 69 years, and the thing is, she's got so much in there. She's got every article ever written about me in Downbeat, you know, when we were 20 years old and all that stuff. And she'll ask me, Ira, what was that club we used to go to when we were 20 years old? I said, honey, I remember the musicians, but I don't remember the names of the clubs, you know what I mean?
Right.
So a whole different thing, you know.
Of course.
And that's because the Bible, you know, every day we have a thing we get in church called our daily bread, and it's got 3 months in there. And so every day we start that before breakfast. We
Right.
read a page, and they're all by different writers. But in the Bible it says, forgetting the things which are behind, I press forward toward the high calling in Jesus Christ. Now, I read that years ago in the Bible, and so when I forget something, I say, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. Most people say, well, it's because you're getting older. I said, no,
Well,
because I read,
speaking of, I had a little angel just told me that Ed Thigpen played the drums on that cut, and Earl May played the bass.
Earl May, right, that's what I thought. Ed Thigpen, wow. Great
Yeah.
cats, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the recording sounds fantastic.
You sound
One-
amazing
yeah.
on that, man.
If we could show some pictures, we've got a whole bunch of pictures from. Well, first of all, as a child, were you really playing the trumpet that young?
My dad started teaching me when I was 3.5 years old.
Wow.
And when I was 5 years old, I played that opening song, What a Friend We Have in Jesus.
Well,
And I didn't play soprano then, but when I was 5, I played in a one-room church that my grandmother had founded outside Chicago, near the Argo cornstarch plant, and just a one-room church. And the pastor that would be there played cornet, and he's the one that brought me. That's when I was 5, and he's the one that brought me to Christ when I was 8. And but that's outdoors. I was about
yeah.
4 years old.
That's
then.
crazy.
I have to say, in that photo, you already have like the jazz swagger.
Oh, totally.
You know, like,
Yeah, yeah.
you've
When I
already got that little bit of, like that hitch.
Come on, keep up, guys. As
Yeah,
he's telling his
right.
other 4-year-old friends.
Well, that's the way I stood when I went. The year I played with Charlie Parker at the Beehive in Chicago, and I played some tenor for him. He says, so I got, well, he liked my trumpet, but he wasn't that in love with my tenor. He says, Ira, just crook your leg and blow your trumpet. So,
Nice.
that
you,
was
had, you had that going on at a young age. So you're in 1976, we've got an album cover.
I think I was 12 then, yeah.
That is just, I love these pictures. This is just great.
Maybe I was only 9. I see I got knickers on.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Yeah, right.
That,
Remember
the
those?
horn is almost as big as you, really. It's-
That's right, yeah.
And then we've got another album cover. Or no, this is with your white suit. What do you remember about this?
That was in California. Yeah, and I had Joe DiOrio with me on that one.
Okay.
And you're right, he did
Yeah.
have that. He maintained the 5-year-old swagger
Yeah, he got.
in that photo, clearly.
Then we've got.
Well, I
let's
was
see.
I was sitting down there,
Oh my gosh,
and that's
look at
when I
this.
I recorded with Roland Kirk.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's, apparently it's a 1960 recording session.
yeah. Well, he had come. I used to play in. Oh gosh, now I'm forgetting the town. But anyway, it was a little town in. It might have been in Kentucky, and so we played in a place that was like a bar and a restaurant, had booze on this one side, and we would go upstairs. The stage was up near the ceiling, and we would go upstairs, and I'd have my band there, and all of a sudden one night, now I had seen a picture of him in a little magazine called Jet or something they used to have, and he worked with Dinah Washington, and it showed him with these 3 horns in his mouth. I said, oh my gosh, who is that? Then when we were playing there, I found out he was playing another small club in Louisville. And so one night we were in the middle of the set, and he got off his gig earlier. So all of a sudden I hear, Ira Sullivan. And I look down, and here he comes upstairs with the 3 horns
Oh my
and,
gosh.
and a flute and a clarinet stuck in the bell of his saxophone. And that was our first meeting. So then when he came to Chicago, he said, Ira, I'm going to come to Chicago, make a record. You know anybody I can see? And so I turned him on to Joe Siegel, who I've been
Right.
working
Right.
for since I was 18 years old. You know.
Wow.
And so we recorded at a company in Chicago, and that was us. And it's a wonderful LP.
It's a
Yep.
great.
I think they made CDs out of it. I'm not sure.
And then you had spoken about working with Red Rodney. So
Red
this
Rodney.
is a picture.
That was 1955, and this is when I went to New York, and we had a quintet. We traveled all over Europe. We didn't Poland, Finland, Ireland, Sweden, Denmark. It was wonderful, wonderful band. Yeah, and there we are. There's another.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made a few CDs together.
Well, we actually have a clip of a video clip. So I don't know if this was This was the song is "We Pot," and I guess it looks like it was a TV performance or something that.
We dot.
We dot. Okay.
Yeah, not we
All right,
pot.
I gotta check with my producers about
He was a
that.
wee tot when he picked up the trumpet.
Well, we're gonna.
I think the audience liked that.
Well, why not? Wow.
Hey, you know what I've always wondered about you, Ira? Do you have a favorite horn? I mean, I love watching
Well-
you play trumpet, but then I hear you play sax, and it's just amazing.
I
Also,
tell everybody the trumpet is my first instrument. My dad started teaching me when I was 3.5 years old.
yeah,
And by the time I was 5, like I say, I could play in my grandmother's church. And then I think by the time I was 12, I would get gigs in the Rotary Club, you know, with all these gentlemen, and I'd have my band was myself on trumpet, an accordion player, and a drummer. That was my
Wow.
that was my first trio. The accordion player played jazz. He was good, you know. So.
yeah.
And then I went on and just developed, and I'm still trying to get it right, you know, even at this age.
I think the day that you think you have it right, is the day that you're done. You know,
Right.
Yeah, that's
why
right.
keep trying if you've got it? You know, if there's nothing left to learn.
That's right. You know, you remember China Vallis?
Of course.
He
Sure.
used to have his jazz show, and when somebody would pass away, he'd say on the show, "Well, he went to join that big band in the sky."
That's
you know?
right.
It's wonderful. Great. Well, thanks for playing that. This is
Yeah.
That
a
was
nice
great.
experience. Uh-oh.
So we got more pictures here. Bobby Watson
Yeah,
Wow.
and Pat LaBarbera.
Bobby Watson and Pat LaBarbera. Of course, we've got the great. This was Nikki's favorite picture.
Oh yeah, this is unfortunately this was slightly before my time.
This is you with Jocko.
A couple pics with the great Jaco Pastorius.
Were we outdoors? It looked like we were
One of those
Yeah.
was outdoors. This you know, it's amazing to me that you were always on the sort of on the edge of you know what was going on in music. You're kind of an Art Blakey figure to me, you know, because you had Jaco was doing just I guess just getting his feet wet with his creativity and what he was going to become. But you were there like at the beginning, and I know you and Diorio were a huge influence on him.
Yeah. Yeah, right. He was wonderful. He was playing with, at that time, Wayne Cochran
Right.
on 79th Street, and they had sort of a rock thing. And Jocko came to me when he was 19 years old and said, "Ira, boy, I'd really love to play with you." So I said, "Well, I just use acoustic basses. I don't use Fender basses, you know." So later we found a place called the Lion's Share, I think, which was close to Hollywood. And we had a quartet there with Alex Saki on piano
Right.
and Bobby Conomo on drums
Yep.
and Jocko and I. And it was quite a band, boy.
Yep.
You know, it's really, really a band. And so Jocko came to be a wonderful figure, and you know, he never drank, he never smoked,
That's what I
and
heard.
he had 2 wonderful children.
Yeah.
And his wife then was Tracy,
Right.
and so, and John and Mary. So then all of a sudden, he got famous and went to New York, and then got into the bad scenes and started drinking and other things, and it was such a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember when hearing his story, he couldn't get $2 from people, you know.
Yeah.
He said he needed a couple dollars, he wasn't working. And the next thing you know, I had a truck driver friend who was a fan of ours at this place I worked, a restaurant, Bubba's in Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And I worked there a few years, and so Richie was driving home one morning about 4 o'clock in his truck, figured his rounds, and he went across the railroad track and saw a person laying there. He got out of the truck. It was Jocko,
Oh my God.
laying on the tracks with his hands crossed.
Oh,
And Richie said, Jocko, let me help you. He says, "No, man, I'm waiting for a train to come and take me out."
Oh, well, I'll
I
tell you,
mean-
I appreciate seeing pictures like this though, because it's interesting when genius appreciates genius. And, you know, you were certainly a spark for his creativity, no doubt about it.
Oh, I know. He told me that, and it was wonderful. But
Sorry, some of these pictures are small.
This is a tiny picture, but this is
Sam.
with Sam Rivers. This is you with Sam Rivers. We've got you with Dan Miller.
Oh, yes, yes. I just talked to him yesterday. Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
And,
I was happy.
Say again?
We've got you with Liebman.
That was an open stage,
That was
I
at
think,
the
with
Open
them.
Stage Club, which was
And
great.
that was open stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got one with, wow, this is with Dennis Marks and Whit Seidner and Dante Luciani.
Oh, wow.
And that was a long, yeah. That's just amazing. These pictures are great. And then this, you know what? This is one of my favorite pictures. This is a drawing by the one and only Charlene Sullivan.
That's my wife, yes.
You want to tell us about this picture? This is such a great,
I don't know if I don't know if you can see the picture behind us. My wife also drew that.
Screen. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
If you remember Stan Waldsman Club.
yeah. Can you
One
put
Night
that full
Stands.
screen?
Yeah, that's it. That's Nicole Yarling singing, Brian Murphy at the piano, Don Miller on
Oh, look at
bass.
that.
And everybody in the audience was major jazz musician. Tony Castellano was Brother
Right.
Dolph, sitting in front with Mike Gerber, and Duffy Jackson was there. Everybody,
Beautiful.
Right.
Simon Sauls before we lost him. So it was really quite a painting. Yeah, she's a wonderful artist.
Yeah,
Plus-
I just love it. You can see Duffy and,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I was wondering, just to check, let's check in with Pete Brewer and see what's going on.
Structure
with-
in which musical
Oh.
non sequiturs are practically non-existent.
I guess he's still reading, Will.
Wow, I guess we're gonna get
On
rid of
another
him.
occasion, Sullivan repeats specific material from an established motif in a
Wow, yeah, okay, we'll let him go on.
But you know what? You know, it's funny, but it's really incredible that somebody did their doctoral thesis on Ira Sullivan. I mean, that's just amazing, don't you find?
Well, it's nice when they write books
Oh my
about it.
gosh, it's just beautiful. It's so cool. You know what I wanted to do? We reached out to a lot of people when we started organizing this. So during the course of the celebration, we're going to have some greetings from different people. And we're going to start off with greetings from people who have shared the stage with you all the way back to Chicago. So
Oh,
we've got
boy.
a couple of videos. Do we?
We do.
Okay, good.
Hi, Ira. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a great friend and a great mentor. I think about you often and all the tremendous adventures we've had. I miss you. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope there'll be many more great birthdays for you. I love you, Ira. Happy birthday again.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That is wonderful.
Hey, man.
Uh-oh.
Happy birthday, bro. That's the way I remember the cats in Chicago playing happy birthday for each other. 89, huh? Okay, you got me beat by a little bit, but you always did. I have very fond remembrances of our time together as players. First, I want to thank you for your devotion and loyalty to Baker's Dozen, which was one of the highlights of my whole 50 years in Miami. While I might have been the director and one of the writers, you certainly were the star and the the fire that kept everybody coming back every Saturday morning to rehearsals. And I'm grateful for that and everything I learned. My favorite Ira Sullivan story is one time I went to your house for something. I think it was the only time I ever been to your house, and came like late morning. Charlene offered me a cup of coffee and said, he's still asleep. So I said, well, let's wake him up. So she called your son, and he went into the bedroom. He was a little boy then, and he started walking on your back, just walking up and down your back like it was carpet. And then you finally woke up and got up and grabbed some coffee, and while you were talking to me, you went and got your flute out of the case and turned on Sesame Street and started jamming with Sesame Street while you were talking to me at the same time. And I realized how hard you have worked your whole life to keep your ears sharp. I've done the same. And ears and clock, that's the Chicago groove, right? So I remember getting a big kick out of that. Anyway, man, I love you and thank you for all you've contributed to jazz all over the world. And let's have another 89th, okay? See ya.
Vince Maggio.
That's Vince Maggio, and I had a long talk with him, and he was telling me about that story. He was so impressed. He says, I've never heard anybody with faster ears than Ira
That's right.
Sullivan. He was just blown away. I was wondering if we could have you perform something.
Oh,
now?
yes.
What do you think?
Brevard?
Or we
Yes.
could, yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. I even know what we're gonna do.
I like it.
Careful. You know, when Brev was 3.5 years old, it's like I started learning from my dad on trumpet, but we had a violin in the house. And he used to put the violin, when he was 3.5, on the coffee table. He was fascinated by it. And he'd have the bow in his hand, and he'd go, da 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 da. Yeah, right. And so I picked up the flute and started playing him, and I'll never forget this day. I started playing a little, just playing around on the flute and the C flute. I didn't have an alto flute then, and so he's playing with me, and I'd get to the end, and I don't know, because we used to use the classical music on the radio, and so we get to the end of it, and I went bop, and he went bop, 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 ba, and played the last note just like the end of a symphony. It was so
We could still do that.
fascinating. Huh? So now we have a tune that I love when Charlie Parker recorded it, because this is on when they had I think 78s or so. I don't know if they'd come out with LPs at that time, and so Bird didn't play a lot of solos like they do nowadays to go on and on, and so Star Eyes was one of the most beautiful tunes I'd heard him play. So that's what this is, Star Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I think it must be so wonderful playing with your kids. You know,
Oh,
it's such a cool thing.
It certainly is, but you know, his career is in rock. He's got a wonderful trio called Featured on Fridays, which has his wife, who he taught to play bass about 19 years ago.
She actually studied with Jeff Berlin, so I didn't teach
Say
her.
what?
She studied with Jeff Berlin, so I didn't teach her.
Studied with who?
Jeff Berlin.
Just take credit for a prayer.
Oh, he says he also studied with Jeff Berlin,
She did.
so she didn't teach her everything.
Uh-huh.
I'm
So
just
anyway,
the man.
where was I going from there? Oh yeah. So
I'm just
so
the
he
guy
has
banging
a
the tambourine in the band she's playing.
so he. What did you say? I didn't hear that.
Oh no, I was just making a joke. Sorry.
Oh, he's making a joke. He's also a good comedian.
But
Anyway, so they have a wonderful trio called Featured on Fridays, and the drummer sometimes is Emily Maddox, who was in our University of Miami school when she
I
was
remember
10
Emily. Yeah.
Remember, 10 years old. She's about probably 25 now or so. And so she was 10 years old. And we had two other boys that played the drums. And whenever they'd sit down, they'd be going, showing me all their licks, like they were taking a drum saw. I said, gentlemen, that's very good, but all I want to hear is time.
Right.
Because when Emily sat down, she just played straight time.
That's right.
Occasional hit. She didn't overdo anything. And now she plays at the Fish House, which you may know.
Yes.
Sounds
Florida.
great.
Whenever we have, I can get my jazz quintet in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Brevard plays there on Friday nights and does his own thing. But when he's with us, he's a jazz guitarist. And also Mark Berner, which
That's right.
accompanies me to Chicago and everything. He used to go to Chicago with me and just play a couple numbers on flute, 2 or 3 numbers.
Well, you
Plus
know, Ira,
yeah.
speaking of Chicago, you know, we heard from some cats from Chicago, but we also have somebody else from Chicago that we'd like to add to the stream and say hi to you. So here we have, all the way from LA,
Hey,
to say happy birthday, Stu Katz.
Stu Katz, beautiful. Good to see you, man.
I think we're not hearing
Okay,
we're not
wait.
hearing audio, Stu.
Hold on, we don't hear your audio.
Not-
So you know what, we're gonna figure this out. You know what we could do in the meantime is play a clip from the album that you guys did live at Joe Siegel's Jazz Showcase.
Oh, Family Affair?
Yep.
Where we're gonna play
Beautiful.
Two Views, Blues Two Views.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Let me start out by saying it was heartwarming to hear from Vince and Brad, emotional ties, but as Ira knows, for me, it was all about the money.
That's
I
hysterical.
met Ira in 1954 when I was 17 years old.
17.
Wow.
He was the first musician that gave me the chills to listen to, and he still does. And I hung on to his coattails since then, and it's been a wonderful ride.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Happy birthday. Love to Charlene and Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So speaking of Chicago, and you also brought him up, Mark Berner travels every year with you to Chicago to play at the Chicago Jazz Fest and also to play at the Jazz Showcase. We're going to bring on the fabulous Mark Berner to say
Fabulous.
hello.
Well, I got to tell you that it's wonderful to be here.
Bones.
And I'm barely awake because I am a night owl, but last night I didn't catch a wink because I was spending more time online promoting this event through Facebook and Messenger on Facebook and texting. And I got a lot of great responses from people, many of whom are with us here.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful. I'm exhausted, but really happy to celebrate my dear friend's 89th. And I knew not then in 78, when gifted Peace on vinyl, that 10 years hence would bring me face to face with my friend Ira.
Yeah.
We met one night in 88. 'Twas Gatsby's with Gerber, Kaufman, and Guy. I closed my eyes, put my flute to my lips, and gave it my best try. That's All was the tune that I played then by ear, and the start of a friendship that endures through the years. Happiest birthday, my old pal. And to keep with tradition,
That's
Very
great,
nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
indeed.
I memorized that.
Mark.
That's why you didn't sleep last night, right?
That's the truth.
Well,
That's the real
it's
reason.
I only have 3 buttons, and I got to make sure I push the right ones.
That's true. That's so funny.
When did you guys meet?
Well, as I said in my ode, it was a night at Gatsby's in '88.
It's
88.
across from the University of Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
and
it. You guys have been playing together probably ever since, huh?
Well, I don't think we played a lot together right after that, but gradually, as the years progressed, we started to play. I started to play flute with him in the beginning,
Right.
and then he brought me up on bass flute at the showcase.
Right.
I made my first trip there in 2008, and that was the beginning of the most recent incarnation at the Dearborn Street train station in Chicago. And Ira really opened up my world to brand new adventures in music and in people. I've often said that Chicago is one of the friendliest cities I've ever been in, and I mean it. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm used to friendly cities, and I love Miami. I speak fluent Spanish, so I'm kind of an adopted hijito here, but Chicago is such a warm place. If you're lost, they'll take you where you're going. They engage with you there, and they're so friendly. I've met so many great musicians. I've had an opportunity to play with the best musicians. So it's all thanks to my buddy there, my traveling companion. And everybody says, Ira's he's getting on now. Really appreciate you. You take good care of him and driving him up here. I said, man, he's my driver. What are you talking about?
That's great.
That's the way
I'm
to do
guessing everybody's missing playing live, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Well, here we are playing virtually live.
Yes.
That's right. Got to make the best of the situation.
Yeah.
Virtually yours.
Yes. Well, Mark, we thank you so much for helping us celebrate Ira. We know how important he is to you.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
To all of us. So we really appreciate it. But you know what I would love to do is, and probably you were a part of this, is talk a little bit about how much education and mentoring young people means to Ira, because I know you work every year at the Young Musicians Camp, with, Sarah Sauls at University of Miami. You're always at the Fish House, playing with young people. We're at WDNA working with Nicole Yarling's group. And, you want to
There's
talk a little
Emily.
bit about, yeah, that's Emily, who we were talking about. That's just amazing. You want to talk about what teaching and mentoring means to you, helping bring up the next generation? Ira?
He doesn't work at the University of Miami.
No, this is for you.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I was talking about you and mentoring and
Right.
helping
It sounded
kids.
like it was to me, but evidently it's obviously for Ira. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's Emily on drums, the
Yes.
young drummer I was talking about. And I don't know who that trumpet player is. I wonder if he's the young man
But
from,
he's probably a star by now. If you
Well-
had anything to do with it.
I think he's a young man from Sarasota. But anyway, yeah, it's wonderful mentoring those young people. And I'm telling you, we had one young man, David Leon,
I was fortunate to do this with you once.
and he was 11 years old when he was in the class. Then he started when he was about 18 or 20. He started playing at the Fish House on Wednesday night when they had jazz. Now he's in New York. He's played Birdland.
There you go.
Then we had a young man, young piano player. His mother brought him to our class because our classes, the students are 7 to 18 years old.
Wow.
When they're 19, they're over the hill. They can't come anymore. But Brandon was 7 years old. His mother brought him back when he was 8, when he was
Unbelievable.
9, when he was 10, when he was 11.
That's
when he was-
amazing.
When
Yep.
he was 12, he went to Connecticut where Jamie Abersold teaches in the summer. And now he's 13 years old. He's played Birdland twice. He's brilliant. And when he first came to us, he was 4 foot high. And he hasn't got big hands like a lot of piano players have. But now he's 13, he's 4.5 foot high. And he as I say, he played Birdland. Phenomenal player. He's got a wonderful CD out you might want to listen to. Brandon Goldberg.
Yeah, he is fantastic. Well, I want you to know that Emily is here watching. She's sent a message in through her dad via Facebook, and also David Leone is watching. So
Great.
so all of these people that you have helped, really, it is true. It's a testament to how great you are, and giving back. That's like a huge thing. So we thank you. And
Hey, Wendy,
yes, Mark.
you got a clip of an old friend of ours and another brilliant piano player that I made a record with. So I was just hoping that we were going to have time to fit that in.
Oh yes, it's all coming.
Oh, beautiful, because I saw we've gone way over, but that's cool.
Well, who's going anywhere?
That's
Nobody's
right.
leaving. Everybody's in their pajamas.
We're in quarantine.
We're just getting started.
Quarantine
No,
heaven.
great. Okay,
well,
man.
I would
Mark,
love.
thank you so much for joining us, man.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
Stick around, and there's a lot more fun to come.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. And
All right.
But we're gonna take you off the stream, and we're gonna hope that you guys will play another one for us.
Oh yeah.
People are complaining about all this talk. They want action. They want to hear music.
I understand that. Okay, let's see. Gotta check the mic. Is that too close? Listen to this. See how this comes out.
Perfect. It's good.
Leave it there, David. Okay, this is from the rock opera Godspell, Under the Spell of God. And this is what I end a lot of my sets with before we play Amazing Grace, which I started ending with Amazing Grace because this club, I say, we worked down here when I found really steady work. I worked 7 years in one club, six nights a week, 4 o'clock every night, 5 o'clock on Saturday. And I used to have people come in and start drinking at 11 o'clock and then stay all night till 5 o'clock, and I'd always end with something wild, and then they'd say, Ira, we'll see you next week, as we went out the door. And I thought to myself, maybe they'll see me next week, and because I know how Friday and Saturday night driving with people, and so I started playing Amazing Grace, and I've had such adventures with that song, which you'll hear at the end of the show, that my wife has a chapter on Amazing Grace in her memoirs. But this is also one I like to play before from the rock opera Godspell. It's called Day by Day. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
beautiful.
Lovely.
Wow. You know what? We have so many people wanted to be a part of this, Ira. And so a lot of people, we had send in some video greetings and messages for you. So we're just going to watch a couple of these, or a handful or more of some of the ones that people sent in. So here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ira. Happy birthday to you.
Ah,
Happy
Jesse
birthday,
Jones.
Ira Sullivan from Ed Bell, late of WVUM, WBUS Radio, WSBH or WMBM, and WLRN, with a brief stint at WTMI, where I got the chance to play your music over the decades on the South Florida airwaves. Here's one
right.
of your earlier releases from 1956. Billy Taylor introduces Ira Sullivan on the ABC Paramount label. And here you are helping me raise funds for the WLRN radio reading service for print handicapped and blind folks. Playing on my radio show, South Florida Arts Beat, with your great guitarist son, Brevard. And here you are at the Unitarian Church in the early 70s with Simon Sauls to your right on guitar. People would come on a Monday night and enjoy the wonderful music that you all provided. They'd sit on beanbag chairs and enjoy life. Ira, thank you so much for your decades of incredible creativity, your teaching kids about great American music at the University of Miami summer school sessions, and just enlivening everybody's life down here. God bless you, sir, and may you swing for decades more.
Thank you. Oh, boy.
Happy birthday, Ira. This is Maggie Bayaya from WDNA. Ira, I remember the first time I heard your music was in 1981 when I started volunteering at WDNA doing a show, and there was an LP with a young man with a trumpet sitting on a chair with an Argyle sweater. It said Ira Sullivan. and I remember playing Portrait of Sal La Rosa out of that LP. Thank you for the many hours of live music and history at the old warehouse, and then also at the office with a circular staircase that you used to come by every once in a while and cut the tree that interfered with our satellite dish feed. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for the many hours that you spend with young musicians here in the WDNA Jazz Gallery. Thank you for the hours of clinics that you provided them as well. Thank you for your friendship and your faith and your love, Ira. Thank you very much for giving us so many years of talent in your person. God bless you, and here at WDNA, everybody wishes you a very, very happy birthday.
Thank you.
I just want to say in these crazy times, I was all ready this year, like I always was, to have Ira over at WDNA. We were going to do a nice birthday party, but then everything went upside down. And of course, you can't be in person. We got to be doing it this way, but I want to say happy birthday, Ira, and hopefully you have many, many more. And I got my copy of Peace here. I was all ready to play it, and we'll just be doing more of it. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful birthday, and it's such a pleasure to have known you all these years, and it's one of the greatest things having a musician like you in Florida, and hopefully next year, under better circumstances, we'll be ready for the next one. So happy birthday, Ira, and be safe.
Frank, thank you.
Hey, Ira, congratulations on another trip around the sun. I hope this year will be your very best ever, except... Hey, Ira, congratulations on another trip around the sun. I hope this year will be your very best ever, except for the one that starts after you turn 90. Ever happier returns, and thanks for all the love in so many forms you've put into this world. Take care and enjoy.
Wow.
I met Ira back in 1966 when I came to Miami with Jerry Coker, and he was going to start the jazz program. And of course, he told us about Ira Sullivan. My experience started by going to the Rancher to see Ira play and sit in, hopefully. I was very young, I was 20 years old, and my first impression was that Ira came to play. He always came to play, and he was ready. And if you're going to get up on the bandstand, you better be ready to play too. Because he came from a time when musicians, jazz musicians, if you wanted to succeed and develop, you had to pay dues, as we say. And success and survival depended on what was going on the bandstand and what came out of the instrument, and so forth. It was not a matter of a press kit or any kind of stuff like that, you know. This was a reality. This attitude and this way of being on the bandstand and about playing jazz, you could feel this, you know, and that's how you learn. You feel something, not somebody that doesn't tell you anything. You feel it, and then you know it's real. Anyway, thank you, Ira, for that. Happy birthday, Ira. So far, so good, huh?
Yes. I waited for you.
Happy birthday, Ira. I love you, brother. Hello, Ira. This is Joe, Ira. Well, it's actually Joe and Kathleen, and we're calling you to wish you a happy, healthy, swinging birthday. And I didn't get dressed up because, well, in 1970, you taught me it's not what you look like when you're doing what you're doing. It's what you're doing when you're doing what you look like you're doing. And Ira, you gave me my first jazz gig in Miami in 1970. I don't remember the details, but I think Jerry Green couldn't make it and I was the sub. I was very nervous and worried about what should I wear. So I called you and I said, hello, Mr. Sullivan. Thank you for the opportunity to make music with you. This is Joe Donato, and I was wondering, what's the attire? What should I wear? And you said, whatever you play best in. So that was a lesson right there. And I've been taking lessons from you and admiring you, and you are an inspiration to me and so many other players. Ira, all the best to you and your family, and I look forward to the next time that we can make music together.
Beautiful.
Bye for now.
Beautiful.
Hi, everybody. This is Dave and Karis Liebman. Karis working the film for you all.
Happy birthday, Ira.
Ira, you are one of the great wonders of the world. I am daunted by what you can do musically and your attitude, your mentoring of students for so long in Florida. For me, Florida's been University of Miami has been my longest relationship with the school. And I'm always lucky to get a chance to play with you like we did a couple months ago before this great virus. We were having a good time. I wish you the best for your birthday and for consecutive many birthdays, and keep doing what you do, man. There's no one in the world like you. You're one of a kind. Be good, brother.
Happy birthday from Karis and Dave Liebman.
Hey, Ira, I'm in my suit here, ready to party. You told me that we're going to be, you want me to wear my good suit, so here I am. The biggest influence I've ever had in my life is Ira Sullivan and the way he has mentored me, both musically and personally. And musically, he taught me to be in the moment and forget myself and really become part of the music more than anyone else. From 1969 on, in the various situations where I played with him at the Rancher and the Lion's Share and at the Unitarian Church and at the school, University of Miami. All of these situations made a huge impact on my journey. He influenced me a whole lot personally too, because I wasn't always going in the right direction. I'll spare everybody the details about all of that, but Ira would talk to me one-on-one, and he really gave me some words and ways of looking at things spiritually that really made an impact later when I was ready to let it sink in and ready to listen. And he turned my life around like nobody else. Ira, thank you so much for both musically and personally, to know you and to know your family and all of the situations that I thank the Lord that I've been in with you. Anyway, happy birthday, Ira.
Happy birthday, Ira!
Wow, and that's just not even all the people that really wanted to do them for you. We have to, at some point, make a cutoff. But I hope it makes you feel as good as it makes me feel watching it.
It's wonderful, just wonderful.
You've touched a lot of people, made a lot of musicians greater than they would ever have been without your presence. That's it's quite a testimonial.
Wow.
So, we wanted to talk about, because the last kind of incarnation that you've had, as far as groups go, has been the Inter-Outer Continental Quintet. So we wanted to...
Inter-outer, I-N-T.
Right, inter-outer. I tried to say, did I miss that? Inter-outer. I keep thinking about belly buttons as soon as I say it.
I know. We did a concert for a bunch of businessmen and everything at one of these restaurants here, and that's what Simon was around, and they billed it on the poster as inner-outer. I said, no, that's intercontinental.
Inter-outer. Yeah, so the Inter-Outer Continental Quintet.
Yeah.
And I know that it originally started with Brian Murphy and Jeremy Grieg and and Don Miller and Einar Skeving, and there's been a whole bunch of people since, but a lot of people, have been kind of going through this. So we actually have, you want to talk about putting that together, or how that came about?
What's that? How that band came about?
Yeah, how...
Well, I had Einar was from Iceland. Brian Murphy is from Canada.
Right.
And Jeremy Gregg was from Australia. So I said, hey, that's where I got the name from. Inter-Outer Continental. Intercontinental. And then, but we played inside and a lot of times outside.
Right.
That's
So that's how I got that name, yeah.
Well, we have a couple of greetings from some of the members of the band. Would we like to hear from them?
Wow.
Let's see what we got here. This is quite the production for Nikki, so we have to.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ira. Happy birthday to you. From Donna Blue and me for many more.
Ira, what's up, Maestro? Einar here.
Hey, there he is.
Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, man. And tell you how much I miss playing with you. Playing with you for those years back in Miami was an incredible experience, man. Something I always cherish. And I promise to be back to Miami for your 90th birthday, man. So, until then, much love and a big hug. Take care, brother.
God bless.
G'day, Ira from Perth, Western Australia. It's been 20 odd years that we've played together. I really miss you. I learned so much from playing with you, and I just remember from those hangs after the gig at One Night Stands in Fort Lauderdale, and you'd be telling me some amazing stories. We'd be in your truck listening to albums, stuff that you used to play with Eddie Harris. I remember particularly a cassette, you had some old bootlegs. So many great memories. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all that you've done for me in my musical journey. I remember the time you told me that you had this great idea for a band, the Inter-Outer Continental Quintet. You mentioned everyone's name, Einar from Iceland, me from Australia, you from Chicago, Brian from Canada, and you mentioned Don Miller from New York, because that's like another country. I remember you saying that. Also, that time you gave me a real book, and I believe you told me some tunes that I should learn, because I remember getting my ass kicked on the bandstand. It was the best lesson I ever had, to be honest. And you circled every single tune pretty much in the whole tune. In the whole book. You got really, really excited whenever you saw a name of a tune, and you'd start singing it, and then you'd circle it and tell me which version to check out. So many fun memories. I really, really wish you the best for your birthday. I wish it was under better circumstances in this uncertain time. And all the best. Thank you for everything that you've done for me, and I really do miss you, and I really hope to get back to the States in the next year or two. Take care, and God bless.
Wow. Man.
We've got
Hello,
one
everybody.
More. Hey.
Hello, Ira. Hope you're doing well. And I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dante Luciani, and I've known Ira for the better part of 30 years, and we played together for about 25 of those years in what he called the Inter-Alter Continental Quintet. And we used to play along with Brian Murphy on piano, John Yarling on drums, and Jamie Owsley, most recently on bass. And it was a great group because what Ira would bring to the bandstand was enormous energy, and what I really enjoyed was the spontaneity of the group. People would ask us, do you guys read charts? And we'd say no. You know, everything we did was improvised lines, and it was all done on the spot, and that would keep us all on our toes and made every gig completely exciting and special. I'll give you an example. I have a short story. We were playing at One Night Stands many years ago. Ira called a tune on the bandstand, and he says to everybody, "Hey, you guys know Mr. Sandman?" So, of course, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, Andrew Sisters, you know, Mr. Sandman, I got this, no problem. So we're all like, yeah, sure. And he goes, okay, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, da 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 da. So it ended up being like a breakneck tempo, and we were all, you know, flying by the seat of our pants. But it happened, and it was tons of fun, and it was great. And that's just an example of that. So anyway, I don't want to be too long-winded, but happy birthday, Ira. Love you very much, and many, many more.
So not only that, but we actually have two of the now members joining us. We've got Jamie Owsley, who is coming up, and the amazing John Yarling on the drums.
Oh, beautiful.
Hey, Ira, happy birthday.
Hey, look at that beard.
Happy birthday, Ira.
I shaved.
I can't get to get, there's nothing I can do. I can't go any place to get it cut.
Look at Yarling.
I don't know who that is. Much.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So how are you guys staying well and being safe and during this time?
So safe.
Yeah. And you're itching to get back and playing in front of real people?
Yes.
It would be nice.
So what point did you guys become a member of this group?
I'll let John go first because he's a senior member.
Oh, wow.
I don't know exactly when it was, to be honest with you. I can't be sure because I've been playing with Ira since I was 17, so it all just kind of runs together through the years. Wow. It's like all these different groups, all these different people. We played with so many different people.
Incredible.
Well, and I'm pretty sure I met Ira along with a lot of the jazz community when I first moved to town. Pete Minger had just passed away, and there was a big memorial for him in a jam session. And I was a bass player who showed up, so I got to play with everybody.
Love when that happens.
Yeah, and as far as the group goes, I don't know, but we used to play, all the time. We played at Blue Jean Blues. We played at the Unitarian Church every year. We used to play at a place in Coral Gables like once a month.
Yeah.
But
Did this group ever record, Ira?
Oh, well, sometime somebody might come in with, with a little recorder, a CD
no
player.
studio.
Yes, we did. We did one, Jamie Owsley's album.
Oh, okay.
And I forget the name of it.
Cool.
Can you hear you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the album back home. It wasn't with the actual group, but Ira played on that. It was really
Right.
cool. Yeah.
Right. Well, we happen to have a clip of you all playing at the Hollywood Jazz Festival. So we're going to play that, and then we're going to do a little something special while you all are online. Okay, so here's the clip.
Well, that was a nice warm-up. Now we have.
Oh, this is the one that's 400 beats per minute.
We haven't seen each other for a while. We've both been different places. So this is called "You Stepped Out of a Drum."
drummer boy.
Wow, there you have it.
That's one of those slow little tempos that Dante was talking about.
Wow, my hands are hurting and I wasn't even playing.
I remember just looking over at Brian and laughing.
So we're supposed to be singing happy
That's
birthday
right.
to you.
Everybody sing.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Ira Daddy. Happy birthday to you.
You guys sent these cookies?
Oh, man. Happy birthday, Ira.
Thank you.
Playing all those horns.
You're missing 88 candles though.
89. No, we're missing
You
88.
see that?
There's one there.
Beautiful.
That is so funny. Well, we want to thank everybody for coming on and helping us celebrate, everybody for watching and sending in your lovely comments. You didn't get to see all the comments, but you can go back and watch this and you can see just how many people were on Ira and how many people had well wishes to give to you. And I know that you always end your show with something that means something to you. And so we're going to hand it over to Iris Sullivan.
And we'd like to thank again the boys in the band.
We want to thank everybody who sent videos today, everybody
Yes.
who showed up, everybody, all of the different jazz societies in Miami who sent it out to their mailing lists so that everybody could be here as one big community to celebrate you.
And thank
And
you.
And I'd like to thank Rick Katz for making this all happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick. God
All right.
bless you.
So we're going to turn it over to you, and you can do your
also,
thing.
Miami Jazz Co-op, thank you so much for keeping music alive.
Yeah, and thank the Miami Jazz Co-op.
We also,
Thank
you
you.
guys mentioned the Fish House, and we've all
Yes.
been in and out of there so many times.
Oh, yes, yes.
Thank
And
you.
thank everybody that showed up on the screen and wished me happy birthday.
Thank you, Angela Rivero.
Angela at the Fish House.
We've got a great jazz
So-
community here.
So Ira, next year we're gonna do this live like we've done it the last couple of years, okay?
Yes.
For sure.
All right, it's a date.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Ira.
Nikki and Wendy.
Our pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you,
Yes,
John.
thank you, Nikki,
And we'll-
and Wendy.
We'll hand this over to you.
Thank you, Nikki, Wendy. Nice to meet you.
Our
Wendy.
pleasure. And we're going to hand it over to you and Brev and take us out. And thanks again, Ira, for everything that you've done, as a mentor, as a musician, and as a friend.
I never realized these guys were so impressed with our work. Well, it's a gig is a gig. And this is what, like I talked about, we end every concert with Amazing Grace. And underneath the everlasting arms. Thank you so much, Nikki and Wendy. Thank you, Rick Katz. God bless you all. Thank you. And thank you, Lord, for this presentation and all the people that showed up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ira Sullivan and Brev Sullivan and Sonny and everybody who helped get his computer going and his microphone going and everything. We want to thank you so much for watching and so much for participating in today's celebration of Ira Sullivan. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again real soon. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's just check back with Pete Brewer and see finally if he's got anything going on, so we can just say goodbye.
Of the period of stasis, which is the vamp after the rubato introduction.
Okay.
And the groove is established.
I'll see you later.
Pastorius plays fairly free harmony for the majority of the first chorus. The harmony solidifies at measure 56, where the Oreo enters and begins accompanying the solo. The top of the form after Sullivan's first chorus is marked by the first clear C Lydian chord at measure 71. That's letter F in the